Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Roswell UFO incident. So let's just hop right into it. So the year is 1947 and there's an unusually high amount of UFO activity with over 300 sightings in the US alone, with the most famous one being the purported UFO crash at Forester Ranch, 80 miles northwest of the sleepy town of Roswell, New Mexico.
Many people in Roswell believe much of what goes on there is shrouded in mystery, especially when it comes to the 1947 alleged crash of a UFO. But are the stories of outer space creatures and flying saucers true? According to one man, yes, and he is now sharing what he says he knows with others.
4 little men, one of which was still alive, as it was moaning. Short, skinny, big eyes, small mouth. The beings had been put on mess hall tables and the doctors were examining them.
That's what UFO researcher E.J. Wilson says happened in this very building near the Roswell airport. It's referred to as Building 84. He and many others believe the government performed autopsies on the aliens after they allegedly crashed near Roswell in 1947.
In early July, William Mac Brazel, a local rancher, came across some strange debris on his farm. He couldn't identify it, he didn't know what to do with it, so the logical thing was to contact the sheriff. On July 7th, William took some of the debris to the sheriff with him and told him what he'd found and showed him some of the pieces of it. One of the most bizarre things about this, which has been corroborated by hundreds of eyewitnesses, is that the debris were this bizarre kind of metal. They said it was like aluminum foil, but you could stretch it, bend it, crumble it up, fold it, and it would return to its normal shape as if it had never been touched at all. The sheriff had no idea what this was, so he called the Roswell Air Force Base to see if maybe they knew anything about this, and he got into contact with Colonel William Blanchard. Blanchard took the information to his superior, General Roger Ramey, who then ordered Major Jesse Marcel to go to the farm, investigate, and gather the materials. Marcel went back to Blanchard and told him what he had found at the site. On the next day, the colonel ordered Lieutenant William Haught, the public information officer, to issue a press release stating that they believed they had found a flying saucer. But then soon after, their story changed. The news spread all around the world and people began to be very interested in this. And over 600 people claimed to have witnessed this crash. So soon after, the government said, uh-oh, this was not a good idea, and they did not want the public to know that they had recovered a UFO. So I imagine what happened was that a higher up in the military probably said, whoa, if you really think you found something from another world, do not tell the press about it. So what they wound up doing was they had Jesse Marcel take pictures with the debris of a weather balloon. And the next day, the local Roswell newspaper put out a story called Harassed Rancher Who Located Saucer. Sorry he told about it, because the government had been harassing him to keep his mouth shut. And the military came knocking on people's doors who lived in the area, telling them to keep their mouth shut if they had seen anything, don't talk about it. Now, there are a lot of high-ranking military people who were involved with this who claimed to see alien bodies, and the director of a local funeral home said that the Air Force had requested multiple child-sized coffins right after the incident. Now, the rancher eventually changed his story and said, oh, it wasn't a saucer, it was just some aluminum foil and some sticks, and it was just a weather balloon wreckage. And the world accepted this story because it was the easiest thing to do. And so the government just went with the story that it was a weather balloon that crashed. Now, the government and the military actually did a really good job at keeping this under wraps up until the late 70s, when a UFO researcher called Stanton Friedman, who you may have seen on Ancient Aliens, started to look into it and dig a little deeper. And he interviewed Jesse Marcel, the Air Forceman who had been sent to the farm to investigate. So Jesse Marcel said that at the scene of the wreck that there were beams of metal, like I-beams, that had strange hieroglyphic writing on them. And these had never been mentioned in the original reports of the flying saucer or obviously the weather balloon. And he said that they had the composition of wood, but they were hard like metal and could not be cut. He said that the hieroglyphs were written in purple, and he was able to remember kind of what they looked like and has been able to draw some sketches of them. And it kind of makes sense when you think about ancient civilizations such as Egyptians, their writing style, or Chinese characters. They all seem like they could be related to this or have come from it, which would make sense if you believe in the ancient alien theory that they had come and visited and influenced human cultures. And these same symbols have also been seen in other UFO crashes. So when Stanton Friedman was interviewing Marcel, he said this was no way a weather balloon by any means, and that it was definitely a cover-up. So in 1994, the US government admitted to lying. They admitted that there had been a a cover-up, but not of an alien spacecraft, but of a highly advanced weather balloon technology that they had at the time that was secret. I think that them admitting this is a cover-up of the UFO to mislead people. And they claimed that it was part of Project Mogul, which was a secret project at the time. And the purpose of the top secret Mogul weather balloons were to sense any nuclear testing in the Soviet Union. And the government claimed that they were testing these Project Mogul weather balloons in New Mexico at that time in that area. Now, to explain away the reports of alien bodies, they said that during that time, they were attaching dummies to the balloons, and so that any bodies that may have been found were actually dummies. But the whole thing, it doesn't make any sense at all. I already have crash dummies on a weather balloon. Now, when people have submitted Freedom of Information Act requests for records from the Roswell Air Force Base, they found out that all of the records from January to October of 1947 have been erased, and they have never given an explanation for why these files have been destroyed or misplaced. Now, a video has surfaced on the internet called Alien Autopsy, and the poster claims that it is a secret video snuggled out of the Air Force Base of an autopsy performed on the alien bodies recovered at the crash site. Now, I want to say something about Majestic 12. So for those of you who don't know, Majestic 12 was formed following an executive order by President Truman, and it was a group of 12 scientists, and they were put together to pretty much handle this Roswell UFO frenzy, and to cover it up from start to finish, and to retrieve the extraterrestrial technology and to reverse engineer it. Now, Majestic 12 has never been officially acknowledged by the government. We only know about it through some leaked documents. And the documents said that there were actually multiple different crash sites in the area, and that 5 bodies in total were found of aliens. And the documents say that they pretty much found aliens and went to work on reverse engineering the craft and studying their bodies. Do you guys think this was an actual alien craft that crashed, or was it a weather balloon? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I've linked my playlists in the description. I have a conspiracy theory playlist, a paranormal playlist, and a true crime playlist, and a missing persons playlist. So if you like that stuff, check out those playlists. And I hope to see you guys back soon for another video.